Now let's look at what India has been up to. Prime Minister Narendra Modi wrapped up 2 hectic days of diplomacy. He was in the Southeast Asian nation of Laos to attend 2 key summits. Yesterday we told you about the India-ASEAN summit, about India's cooperation with the bloc. Today Prime Minister Modi was at a broader forum, the East Asia Summit.
The East Asia Summit. It's a summit of the 10 ASEAN nations, along with 8 others. India is one of them, of course. Then you have the US and its allies, and Russia and China. As you can see, it's a diverse group, and it has the potential for conflict. So it's a good thing that India was there to calm things down. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi was the first to speak after the host nation, and he reiterated India's take on global problems. He said, "The conflicts going on in different parts of the world are having the most negative impact on the countries of the global south. Everyone wants that, whether it's Eurasia or West Asia, peace and stability should be restored as soon as possible. I come from the land of Buddha, and I have repeatedly said that this is not the era of war. Solutions to problems cannot come from the battlefield." Prime Minister Modi believes that war is not the solution. He continues to call for peace. And hopefully his words will sink in one of these days. One more thing of note was how he highlighted the global south. He pointed out that the wars have had a negative impact, and the brunt has been borne disproportionately by the global south. Despite the region having no role to play in the fighting, it has been hammered economically. It is collateral damage. India is in a unique position, though. It's a fast-growing economy with a massive population. So India has heft at global forums, which is why Prime Minister Modi always calls for an end of wars. It's India's way of trying to be the voice of the global south and raising our issues at the global stage. Hopefully, the belligerent forces around us will listen. But while waiting for reason to kick in, India's Prime Minister kept himself busy with other matters. After the East Asia Summit speech, he proceeded to hold bilateral meetings. Modi met with New Zealand's Prime Minister Christopher Luxon. They discussed a potential free trade agreement between the two countries. Luxon said that he's hopeful that such a deal could manifest in the next 2 years. After that, Modi spoke to the US Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, and Thailand's new Prime Minister, Paetongtarn Shinawatra. Again, expanding trade was on the agenda. Then came the main bilateral between Prime Minister Modi and his Laotian counterpart, Prime Minister Sonsai Siphandone. Remember, Laos was the host country for this East Asia Summit, so of course a major bilateral was part of the agenda. India and Laos signed multiple MoUs on defense cooperation, customs, broadcasting, and some smaller cultural projects. India has agreed to provide about $150,000 to Laos to preserve temples and murals, and about $1 million to boost food security. Before leaving, Prime Minister Modi gifted some handicrafts to all the leaders he met, a way to showcase Indian craftsmanship. All in all, it was a successful trip for the Indian Prime Minister to Laos.
Firstpost decodes the U.S. election, explains how America chooses its president. Your primer on the race to the White House. Everything you need to know about how America votes and its global implications. U.S. Election Explained, every Monday and Thursday only on Firstpost.